Dodgers getting some more reinforcements in the rotation. Cole Hamels signs a one-year deal with the Dodgers, so they're going to get him stretched out and see if what he can bring. He'll get $200,000 per start as well. And here is his resume: 15 years. The guy, nothing short of brilliant. A couple of a World Series champion. He was the NLCS MVP and also World Series MVP.
Welcome back to another episode of Who's On First. I'm your host, Dwayne.
And I'm Jason.
And before we start, please like, comment, subscribe to the video to help us out greatly. But let's talk about it. Dodgers signed Cole Hamels. I feel like it's fucking 2012.
I feel like the Dodgers are the new Yankees.
Really? After this?
You figure how much they took on with Scherzer and how much they're going to re-sign him, because he's going to re-sign there. And then with Trey Turner. And I feel like, well, obviously now they have the highest payroll.
Well, they've had the highest
payroll. But even more.
Right.
So I feel like, you know what? The West Coast they're like the West Coast Yankees, where the Yankees used to be this way.
I don't like this narrative, but we'll get to that in a second. Let's talk about Cole Hamels. Cole Hamels is coming off of basically not pitching for 2 years almost.
Yeah.
I think the last time he signed with the Braves in 2020, but then
in spring training he had shoulder issues and then COVID.
Right, so he didn't pitch last year. He hasn't pitched since 2019. So I believe he only has, 3 1/3 innings logged over the last 2 years. Dodgers signed him to a $1 million contract for the rest of the year, and I think he has an incentive bonus of $200K per start, which could equal a lot of money, right? The biggest thing with this is that I'm looking at is, I believe from the article I read, it stated that he would be ready in 4 weeks. So that's basically September. Do you trust Cole Hamels in a playoff race? Someone who hasn't pitched in 2 years.
It depends what game it is. If you're up 1-0, yeah, I'll throw him in the second game. If you are up 3-0, I'll feel a little more comfortable throwing him in. If we are tied, no.
Well, see, I don't think, at least I would hope not, but I don't think he's going to make it into the playoff rotation. I think their idea is to use him
Well, if he's not ready until September, doesn't he have to be on the squad by the end of August?
Right.
So he would have to be a little more before 4 weeks probably then.
Well, they're saying 4 weeks. I believe, because he did a showcase in June, July. So I'm pretty sure he's been pitching since then. But my perception of this is he's going to pitch in September because the Dodgers need innings right now, because Tony Gonsolin has, sorry Tony, I love you for lack of a better word, he's been trash since he's come back, and he has been no sort of command at all when he pitches, and he's been costing the Dodgers a lot of innings in the bullpens, right? So you have David Price, who's still getting stretched out technically, but he's doing better. And then you have now Scherzer. Kershaw, it's still a mystery. He's scheduled to come back, but we still don't know. And then, of course, you have the horses, Buehler and Urias, right? So for me, when it comes to Cole Hamels, my main concern is September games. I believe we have 3 games left with the Giants. Those, I want to say, are in September. I'd have to look at the schedule. And then we still have, 6 games left with the Padres. I do not like Cole Hamels in those games.
No.
And I understand he's a big game pitcher. I understand he's done it before. And, of course, he is a former ace, right? However, Cole Hamels is 36?
37.
Right, and hasn't pitched in 2 years. Something about that just doesn't sit well. But I find it hilarious that this all stems from Trevor Bauer. So literally, the Dodgers season rests still on Trevor Bauer and his inability to be on the roster right now. Yeah. Because if none of this happened, who knows if they even make the trade for Max Scherzer or not, right? But none of this happens. Their bullpen stays pretty fine because they didn't have to work up to try to cover for his loss. But since he's been gone, he's been a massive hole, and now he signed with the Dodgers because he wanted to win a championship. And he could end up being the biggest reason as to why they didn't win the title, because he ruined the bullpen.
And he can still stay in L.A.
He's not staying.
He has so he has a contract.
Right.
He can opt in.
Right.
So if he's still under all the shit, hey, I'm going to...
Man, that'll be another video because but...
You're like, I will make sure.
I will find that.
I will knock on his door and give him a very strong message.
But when it comes to Cole Hamels, do you feel like the Dodgers will use him in the playoffs if need be?
Well, a lot of the Dodgers pitchers, like you said, they're all going through stuff.
Right.
Like, how many miles does Kershaw and Hamels have together combined during the playoffs run?
Kershaw a lot more than Hamels as
Yeah.
of late for obvious reasons.
Yeah.
But Kershaw has a lot of miles.
Yeah. See, so that's the thing. It's like, I would use him. It depends on the situation. I couldn't use him in a big game. I just wouldn't, even though I know he's a big game pitcher, but 2 years out from pitching in that situation.
Right.
And having not played this whole season, actually the 2 whole season,
Right.
he does not know anything about the players besides what he sees on TV and any reportings that he
Right.
sees. So I feel like it's risky.
My big concern with this, and I was talking to someone on Twitter about this earlier today, but I was kind of puzzled by the move because I was like, okay, if you're signing him for just the depth to have on the roster and in the extra arm, I understand it. However, if you're signing him to be in a prominent role coming down the stretch, what was the point of the Danny Duffy trade?
Yeah.
Because to me, Danny Duffy would be in the rotation right now. A lot of people, of course, we know, and Danny Duffy is coming off a flexor strain, I believe, in his arm, and we don't know if he'll be able to pitch, deep into games. So the Dodgers have already kind of said that they see him in the playoffs as coming out of the bullpen. However, for the regular season, it's still kind of up in the air. I would rather have Danny Duffy slot into that starting role because he, first of all, is proven. Second of all, he was a big part of that Kansas City Royals championship and run. And I just feel more comfortable with him because he's been consistently pitching. Just not lately because of his injury, but he's been consistently pitching for the last couple of years, right? Cole Hamels, I would rather have him out of the bullpen because right now the Dodgers' biggest hole is they don't have a consistent lefty in the bullpen right now. Their amazing reliever last year, Victor Gonzalez, has not been good this year, at least as of late. I will say that. He has not been good. He's not been consistent. He has been throwing strikes, and when he does throw strikes, they get crushed. So they need a shutdown lefty. Also, they need someone that they can trust in those situations. Hence why I feel like you would sign a Hamels to come out of the bullpen.
Yeah.
However, with that being said, someone who's been a starter his whole life, can you just switch to being a bullpen piece?
I don't know.
The right move. I don't know.
It's for, obviously he wants a ring,
right.
and
Of course, for a lot of people out there, he did grow up in LA. He is a Dodger fan.
yeah. So and he probably lives here as well.
Yeah.
So if I was him, guess what? I'm going to learn how to come out of the bullpen. if this is my chance now,
Right.
then and playing for the team I grew up with, then yeah.
Wait, Cole Hamels has a ring. He doesn't have a ring with the Phillies?
He won with the Phillies, but
Yeah.
he wants another one because
Of course.
because when you go Cole Hamels in the Phillies ring, the first person I think of is Cliff Lee every time.
I think of Roy Halladay.
And Roy Halladay.
Right.
So I don't even think of Hamels as their ace. He won't be their ace, but guess what? I'm going to have 2 when I go show off to those guys when I have dinner with them.
To me, it's an interesting signing. I would hope that he can get ready a little sooner.
Or is there something else that's going on in the background?
See, my fear is it might be a Kershaw thing, and that's really my fear. But I really don't want to think about that right now, and I feel like the Dodgers will announce something if it does end up becoming true. But he's scheduled to come back. Well, he was scheduled to come back August 7th. I don't know if that's been pushed back yet, but we will see. However, I just can't imagine a Dodger playoff run without Clayton Kershaw.
Yeah.
I just can't. It doesn't make sense to me. I don't want to think about it. So I'm hoping he's healthy and, he's on his way to coming back very soon. But if not, if we have to roll with Cole Hamels, I'm going to hold my breath and to see what happens at this point because I am not. This is the one Andrew Friedman signing that I'm kind of like, I don't know what you're doing.
Yeah, but you look at the risk. It's $1 million.
Right.
And
the money I can care
and
less
at
about.
least he's going to eat up some innings and help these other arms before the postseason.
Right.
So that's at like their Freeman and Roberts will be like, all right, are we putting him in the pen? Where are we keeping him? And then hey, that's their job. Hopefully he's been a god so far for the Dodgers.
So we'll see what happens, but please let us know what you guys think. Once again, like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you guys when we see you.
Peace.